Hello and welcome to Titaniumgeek. My name's James Gill and the world's tallest man is...
David Owen. Hi. Oops.
So we've come to Coventry to stand in the middle of a road with cars on it. So give us a moment as we clear those cars. So we've come to Coventry, the home of the bike, with two of the latest generation folding bikes. Last year I acquired the Hummingbird, the world's lightest carbon fibre electric bike. But David has got with us today the new Gocycle. So what have we got there, David?
So the Gocycle is designed by an F1 engineer. It's made of aircraft standard aluminium. It folds, it has a stand, it's got disc brakes that are integrated. It's arguably, I would say in this test, it's the most advanced folding electric bike what we're going to see, against something with a wonderful motoring heritage as well, built at ProDrive, famous for many of the racing teams in Great Britain. And obviously, as James says, with advanced carbon fibre. But let's see how they perform. And I've even got gadgetry on this. It links to my iPhone. And pushy buttons underneath the bars. So it will be interesting to see how this performs compared to the Hummingbird, let's say, with the added back wheel.
So basically, David's trying to cycle on an F1 fighter jet, whereas I've got a carbon fibre sports car. Jets aren't really known for their road handling, so I think I've got him beat on this.
What I've noticed as well is your tyres. Your tyres look incredibly skinny, whereas mine, I've got like these chunky. Just looking at the road we're on at the moment, this I think is designed for all sorts of environments, except for one, because I do know somebody who might be standing behind a camera at the moment who took it off-roading, hence the state of the tyres.
Fair enough. One of the issues, though, you say with those tyres, though. Now, I'm a big fan of Apple's, owning the whole widget thing. Your tyres are branded, possibly made by, is it Gocycle and Redstein? So at least you've got custom things. I've got straightforward Schwab Marathon Pluses, and I have never had a puncture on these ever in my life on every single bike I've had.
Except for today. But the
apparently you have future knowledge of the tax we're putting on the road.
So when you get a puncture, or if you had a puncture, how would you repair it with that?
Easy, I'd just swap it over from the same tyre I could buy at any bike shop.
So with this, the tyres come off from the side. You don't have to take the wheel off. So you can repair a puncture without all the normal stuff of taking a wheel off.
Interesting.
So once again, an interesting thing for the commuter who, well, let's face it, most commuters aren't going to repair the tyres because by which time you're late for work and you're going to find some other thing. But for if you want a no-mess approach to repairing your bike, it's a different way of doing it.
Okay. Well, with that in mind, let's head off for our first race off to Coventry train station. Okay. Well, in that case, 3, 2, 1, go.
I've got to turn. No.
Yep. No, I don't care what you say, that's got some real acceleration to it, even with your legs attached.
I did press the button.
So how do you feel that one goes through the city? So what have we just seen?
I think it's really nimble. It's a heavy bike. Don't get me wrong, it's a heavy bike. I know yours is incredibly light at the front and
fingers
heavier on the back. Yeah. So
go on. How many fingers does yours take?
20. So this is heavier on the front. So heavier on the front. But what you've got is it's very well planted. It's two-wheel drive, which is different. So you don't notice the weight once you get going. This little button under here, which is the boost button, really does help. I'll take this off. This boost button really does help and gives it a bit of welly just to start. So you know that lag you get at the start of riding an electric bike. This cuts in straight away. So that's great. Yeah, very nimble, lovely to ride. stops really well, as you could probably just see.
I tell you what, I was impressed with your brakes, less so with the traction that your tyres provided there.
That's a good point. That's a good point. So yeah, and I'm wearing as well the world's worst grippy shoes, which are New Balance, which are only designed for dry weather with very grippy footpaths, whereas I think these tyres are slightly slippier. But other than that, yeah, no, it's lovely. What about yours?
Hey, I say this one is my personal bike. I'm a big fan. I love how it can easily fit into my tiny boot. And I suppose that's go to the next question. How quickly can you actually put this thing to bed, as it were? So we've made it up to the train station, so I suppose we now need to see how quickly that we can put these things away. 2, 3, go. A bit of clip, bring it down, clip it down, and push. Oh, no. Off!
Oh, he's done it.
There we go. I mean, let me check the weight on this. So
Yeah,
can you actually... I mean, this is a big bit of kit. I'd say you've got double the weight at least.
Yeah, let's try this.
Take that with one hand.
Oh, good Lord.
Now try and take that one.
I'd definitely say the Gocycle is like, no, this is my weaker arms, but this is...
There's probably double the weight on that.
1.5, I'd say. But this is significantly like,
No,
you
I've
could carry
carried-
this into the train.
No, I've carried that actually up the escalators in London, and it's not a pain in the neck. I imagine humping that up an escalator would be a real challenge.
Yeah, it would. The good thing is you can, and I know the escalators are slightly different, but you can do this with it, which is a la Brompton.
Now that I do like. I wish that I could wheel that. When you've got this, you're only going to be able to hold this, and your fingers are going to get all mucky on the underside, even with the mud flaps.
Oh, well, I see.
This is how you're holding it, but it's a nice position to hold in the hand. And similarly, if I wanted to get it an over-rack helmet, I could easily.
I'll tell you what I like on yours as well. I do like a very, very simple thing, the seat post clamp. Whereas on this, it has this Allen key, which is very nicely fitted under here. But every time you adjust the saddle, which I know is fine if I'm just using it, but for example, let's say, Joe, my wife wanted to use it, or Griff, or whatever, then it's a little bit of fiddling. I do much prefer that. But I think weight-wise, that wins hands down. But I say, this is no heavier than a Brompton.
No. I'd say one thing I have changed on this, I've put my own saddle on it because it came with the world's most painful saddle. Seriously, it was like sitting on a glass edge. It was very, very unpleasant. But any other saddle definitely, whereas that seems to be quite a pleasant saddle.
Well, I did 17 miles with this in a pair of jeans with no saddle sore, which I thought was pretty impressive because I am prone to saddle sore.
And I think that's a good point. We're just in regular trousers and things at the minute. We are as if we're heading to work. No padding and things like that. On that note, so you get to London. How far are you going to be able to go with that?
40 miles.
40 miles.
Yeah,
I think
40
I've got
miles,
35 here, so you're going to slightly beat me there. Well, they're good bits of kit, right?
I think they're the future, James. The future.
Well, we're living in the future. Okay, let's stick them back in the car and see how they do it that side. So, you've made it back from your epic journey over to Coventry train station. I'm sure it was beautiful, wasn't it?
All seriousness, Coventry City. So our marvellous camera person, sorry. It was like Bath once upon a time. There are sections of Coventry which are truly stunning, so I think we've got to doff our cap to that.
I think the bits where we filmed at the beginning with the cathedral are wonderful, but they're trying to do more at the moment. Okay, and in terms of them going to the future, we've got the future here. Let's see if you can get it in your futuristic car. Get it off.
This is going to be a futuristic car. So this is a very dirty Nissan Leaf. I must apologise to people. Now the first thing with a Nissan Leaf, and this is not a comment of folding bikes, but it is if you want the e-bike and the e-car, Nissan Leaf is designed by somebody in the dark. So it has this huge drop off here, which is of no use to anybody. So you're a little old lady who wants an electric car and you want to put your bags in the back, you've got to lift them over. Or you are a 50 something approaching 60. I don't know if I can call myself a cyclist anymore because I ride on Zwift. Cameraman, please. So And I want to get this in the back of my Nissan Leaf with my Wisley cyclist arms. So I'm going the wrong way here. So what I will do is I'll fold this thing up. Remember to do this the right way around. Follow instructions as in the manual. So flop them. Pedals are folded already. Flop this thing round. Key thing to remember with the Gocycle is there's this piece of elasticated gadgetry which also requires someone to wear the glasses, namely me. Anyway, so you snap this bit on here, which keeps it all together. The stand's gone a bit wonky. Another thing to bear in mind is when you're 5'18" like me, the saddle is going to cause a problem. There's one thing now, this is heavyweight over the stupid leaf thing with my cyclist wheelie arms. So you can see straight away we have a problem. Now there is a solution to this problem, and the solution to the problem, not looking at the camera, is an Allen key. So what we're going to do is drop the saddle all the way down. This could be the world's longest film of getting a car in. So obviously when you're getting ready for the morning commute and you've got a Nissan Leaf and you're tall, is to remember to give yourself enough time. It's a Nissan Leaf with leaves in the back. Now something we've discovered as well is, thank you very much, there's a very handy thing which is designed for car thieves not to be able to see that you've left your laptop in your boot. Is also that keeps your Nissan Leaf in one place. Well, not your Nissan Leaf, but your Gocycle in one place. So therefore we can shut the boot and it doesn't rattle around. So there you go.
That was a faff. Let me show you how to do it. So, I actually quite like the way that the Gocycle looks. It seems properly rugged. This has a feeling of, not fragility, but it's much more loose.
That was quick.
Always get right through this step here.
Do you get grease on your hands?
Done.
All done? That was pretty quick, wasn't it? You haven't got to struggle and get this in either. To keep it in place.
You could actually get it in with the parcel shell.
I think there's enough space for
Hey, you could. You could.
that's how much extra space.
That's brilliant. That's really good. So you can get 2 hummingbirds in the back.
2 hummingbirds and 1 James Gill.
Right, we're back now from yesterday's filming. Time to reflect on comparing the 2 bikes. The Hummingbird Electric is an expensive bike. Let's get that out of the way straight away. It's high tech, carbon fibre, takes multiple tests at £70 plus to test the frame, all that sort of stuff. It's a work of art, it's a beautiful thing, but it's £4,500 about starting price, upwards depending on what you have on it. So it's very beautiful, very lightweight, folds very small, great bike, with all the technology for the electric bit in that back wheel, which is the same back wheels that you put into a Brompton and bikes like that. The Gocycle is very different. Former F1 engineer designed, great team around it. You have disc brakes front and rear, it's 2-wheel drive, it's an aluminium frame with the battery and all the technology in there. You get an app. It's been voted Electric Bike of the Year for a very good reason. It sits very firmly on the road. It rides really well. It's got those fat tyres that you can repair from the side. It really, really is commuter thought about. The only thing I would say about it is it's heavy. It doesn't fold as small as the Hummingbird. But if you can overcome those 2 things and its price at under £3,000, and arguably more available on a bike to work scheme, so you can get, depending on your tax rate, a huge chunk of tax taken off, therefore discounting down the price. For me, it's the bike to go for. We'll do a more in-depth review on the Gocycle alone in the forthcoming days, but please like, subscribe. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers before the end of the year, and thanks ever so much for watching. Bye now.